In my video explaining the plot of Man of Medan, I neglected to fully detail just why there were 4 coffins in the hold of the ship, which is a pretty big oversight on my part considering that they're the most strange item aboard, as well as the thing most likely to convince players that something supernatural is going on. So here goes. The 4 coffins belong to members of a reconnaissance team who were wounded and captured by the Japanese while looking for a secret chemical weapons research facility. They were taken back to the facility and experimented on by the scientists developing the Manchurian gold weapon. We're given no firm details about how the soldiers were killed, but a note found on the ship reveals that the bodies were in such terrible condition that they needed to be kept locked tight lest the discovery disturb the crew. One of the bodies was so badly mutilated that they were able to fit everything that was left into a child's coffin. It's entirely possible that these are the remaining pieces of the soldier whose spine and skull were used to create the two-headed monster. The child's coffin was only used because the government had run out of full-sized coffins when the bodies were discovered. This isn't too much of a stretch, since it was a massive undertaking to recover and return all of the corpses of servicemen killed in the Pacific. The only experiment we get a real glimpse of is a two-headed skeleton. It's possible, even likely, that the scientists were attempting to see if a dying person's head could be transplanted onto a living person's body, and attached to that person's blood supply to act as a human life support system. Not unlike the 70s exploitation film, The Thing with Two Heads. Apparently whatever combination of drugs and machinery they used in the process had the side effect of warping, then shattering the host's skull, which is what creates the idea of the huge-headed monster that Alex sees in his visions. The presence of the coffins on the ship served only to convince the crew that something supernatural was going on. One of the crewmen, a soldier named Patterson, had a personal stake in the coffins. He was the final member of the recon team that was ambushed, and he escaped into the jungle while his teammates were captured. Desperate to find out what happened to his teammates, he breaks open one of the coffins and sees the surgically melded corpse. It's this experience, combined with the effects of the Manchurian gold, that leads him to go on a murderous rampage. Killing, among other people,
the gas mask-wearing man
can be found hidden on the ship's deck. So that's the story of the 4 coffins, which, in retrospect, probably should have been moved in secret, unmarked crates, rather than devoting an entire hold of the ship just to creeping people out. I've been the Hidden Object Guru, and I'll see you back here for more dark pictures.